Good morning, my lovely people of Earth. I hope that you're having an amazing day. I couldn't make it out to see the sunrise today. I woke up late. I needed the sleep. I would have only gotten like 4 hours of sleep if I would have tried to make that. So I didn't even bother, basically. I have my journal here. And I'm going to read my next entry, which is December 7th. So this is my Kundalini journal. And like I say in all of my videos, I'm sharing this because there are a lot of people who are, all of my Kundalini videos, my Kundalini diary videos, there are a lot of people who go through this experience alone. And I did. And I am still going through it, but now I have some people who I talk to who I've been able to find who have been on some sort of Kundalini journal, and the rising of this energy is something that they are familiar with, and it's easier if you have somebody to talk to. Some of it is wonderful. Some of the experience is absolutely amazing. A lot of it is absolutely amazing. But in the beginning, you have a lot to clear out. That's what the Kundalini energy does. It clears out all of the blocks and the ways that you keep yourself stuck and walled off so that you can reach your full potential, so that you can be a pure vessel for this energy to work through you. God, whatever you want to call it. But that is the purpose of Kundalini, is getting rid of everything that prevents you from living your best life as your best self, not in the way that you necessarily think that means. It's not like Kundalini is going to rise and you're going to become a millionaire and like have everything in the material world that you want. It's more like this energy supports life. And you are a tool. And in order for this energy to use you to support life and to contribute value and goodness to this world, it needs you to be the best tool that you can be. And I mean that in a very loving way. Like, I now understand what that means, and I want so badly to be a tool. And sounds kind of weird, but it's true. That's what I want. Like, please use me, purify me, make me the best tool that I can be, and I will be your instrument. So that is what Kundalini is, how I understand it. It helps you to live your life purpose, because when you are living your life purpose as your best self, you uplift the whole world, and that's all that this energy wants, is for everyone to uplift the whole world. I mean, imagine if we lived in a world like that. I personally believe that the Kundalini energy is the earth energy. Our earth has intelligence. I believe that it's alive, the actual planet itself, and it can only speak to us through energy. So it is helping people to rise up more and more, like raise their energy and purify, because I know for me, since this journey has started happening, I've never been like a cruel person, but there were a lot of ways that I was being harmful to other people and to the planet itself without even realizing it. And now it's like I can't harm anything. I go on walks and bugs will crawl on me, and I've never been one to kill bugs, but they always like annoyed me, so I brushed them off. Now I don't even care. I don't have any harmfulness in me. And I just think that if the planet were like that and we all uplifted each other, I can't imagine where we'd be. It'd be amazing. Happy coffee time, by the way. It's only like 9 o'clock in the morning here. I put an entire pot of coffee, pretty much, in this one cup. My fiance thinks it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Okay, so anyway, December 6th, which is really weird. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I have the date of June 7th here, and it just isn't June 7th. This is supposed to be December 7th. 2018. Good morning, wonderful people of Earth. I reconstructed my body this morning around 3:30 a.m. I loved it. It's surprisingly easy to get into the various states. This is a Joe Dispenza meditation called Reconstructing the Body. I will do one similar to this on this channel, but essentially it's just getting into different emotional states. So like it will be like feel joy in your body. I'm going to do one of those really soon. So I laid down to go to sleep and had some trouble. It's like my body was excited. I finally fell asleep and I dreamt that I was living in an apartment complex. I think it was a nicer version of the projects. This black lady who looked like a woman, who looked like a woman I met sleeping at the DMV the other day, lived in an apartment downstairs. She wanted to switch. She had a 4-bedroom, I had a 3-bedroom, so it was tempting. I looked at the apartment and it was beautiful, but she said that I couldn't take my tarot cards. I could take self-growth tools, but no tarot. Interesting. That's very interesting. I didn't realize it at the time, but now I'm starting to understand why in certain religions tarot and other modes of divination were said to be evil. I don't necessarily think that they're evil, but it's like the placebo effect. If you get a bad card and you are looking at that as something bad, you're going to bring that energy into your life. So I can understand why this was saying don't bring the tarot. I asked Brenda from Crossroads, the place where I used to live, a woman who worked in the office, and she told me that it would still technically be the woman's apartment, so I had to listen to her. I knew that Will was outside getting on a bus. There was a line, and I needed to get in, but I had to put pants on, and I couldn't find them, and I started to get scared. All right, interesting. I don't know what that means. I know what the tarot dream meant. I can't use divination in the same way anymore because it acts as a placebo. There you go. I am in charge of my destiny. The fact that the setting was the projects where I used to live. Someday I'll get into that story, but I was homeless for a while with my children, and I lived in the projects, literally in a housing project, for a few years. It's guidance to pay attention to where I might be falling back into old patterns that could cause financial trouble. Interesting. I woke up at 6 a.m. to do the morning meditation. For the morning meditation, it's helpful if I have a clear idea of a thought I don't want to think anymore, and a few things that I want to accomplish. I'm eating breakfast now and I feel good. So every morning I do a meditation about what I visualize for my whole life overall, what I visualize for my day, and who I want to be. So those 3 things, and one of the things that I think of is like the thoughts that I don't want to think anymore, because I believe that the thoughts are foundational. So I think a thought and it creates my world, because I make decisions from that thought and feelings rise from that thought, and it literally creates my whole life. So I spend about 20 minutes doing a meditation every morning of what my vision for my life is, what my vision for my day is, and who I want to be as my best self. And I rehearse bringing that into my day. Then I have a bunch of intentions here. Essentially, I'll just sum them up. I live in love. I am a radiant heart star, shining my love light for all. I bring my best energy, my best self to every person and situation. I am perfectly, radiantly healthy. Every cell of my body is in perfect condition. My marriage is the biggest blessing in my life. Will and I are warmly close, deeply and powerfully in love. The kids and I are close and warmly loving with each other. I teach the kids every day how to create their best selves and live their best life. I am competent, capable, responsible, organized, and clear thinking, present, and engaged. And then I have a whole bunch of questions that I ask myself. What does it mean to live in love? What does it feel like to be a radiant heart star? I was really, really into this. I was very, I was in a shitty place, and I was so depressed. I mean, so depressed. I was doing some things that were self-destructive. I was binge eating junk food, which isn't like me at all. And now looking back, I really think that it was part of the Kundalini journey. I think that started years ago, actually, I've been meditating since I was 9, and then when I was living with my ex-boyfriend, I wanted to be more powerful. I didn't even really know what that meant, but I asked for more, to be shown the full extent of my power, and I started getting really into Kundalini meditations and Kundalini yoga. And then our relationship fell apart, and I was kicked out of my apartment. I mean, my whole life fell apart after I started doing the Kundalini meditations. Interesting. And that's what it will do. It purified that out, because let me tell you something, now from where I am, you couldn't pay me to go back to that life, living in that particular place. And my ex was not a bad guy, but we were not meant to be together. So it purified all of that out and brought me here. And now I believe that there's still stuff, I'm sure, to be purified out, but it's taking me up higher and higher. But at this point in my life, it was about survival, really. I wanted to get by, but I was so diligent about it. Insights. So I wrote down some insights here. I know that Will and I are twin souls because I dreamt it. I dreamt about marrying a Will 3 times. I've never dreamt before about marrying anyone. And I had a dream, or 3 separate dreams, about marrying a man named Will. And I knew in all 3 dreams that this person was my twin soul. I feel it. I do feel that. We activate each other's chakras. We want to become one and purify, love purely, be healed. We inspire each other to grow. We are growing, and we move toward more love, deeper love continuously. Our togetherness is complete and fulfilling. And that's all true. And it's interesting because it's not what I thought it would be. I thought like having a twin soul in my life would mean that we're like together all the time and I'm madly in love and all I want to do is be with this person, and it's not like that. I mean, I do love being with him, but I actually feel more independent and self-sufficient than ever, and I needed that, and he brought that into my life. He helped me to be more confident, more self-sufficient, and more of my best self, for sure, which is what twin souls do. Not easy at first. It was a lot of heavy soul lifting, but now, I mean, I'm so thankful. He brought huge change into my life, huge change, and I'm sure I brought that to him as well. That was an insight. And then I have 1,000 questions that I don't feel like I need to read. I meditated for 3 hours, visualizing my life and really getting into it. Now I'm going to do a Tabata workout, and then a chakra blessing meditation. So I was meditating at this point for up to 6 or 7 hours a day, sometimes even more. And it was bringing some incredible energy into me, into my life, into me really, and that was causing it to be into my life. But the energy at first was not easy to deal with. It was quite amazing, and like I was in awe, and I'm going to read that right now. So I did the blessing of the chakras meditation, and it was one of the most amazing feelings I've ever had. This was my first official experience with the Kundalini energy moving within me that I feel was like distinctly Kundalini, not just, an uprising, but like this was the Kundalini waking up. My entire body felt like it opened up and expanded to the size of the planet. I became energy and I could sense the energy in the room. I was in such an amazing mood afterwards. My symbol, by the way, is me, like a radiating star. I have a symbol that I work with. Changes. It has changed, but at first, because I use symbols because they speak to the subconscious mind. If you notice in your dreams, it's highly symbolic. That's the way that the dreams talk to us. So I want to talk to my subconscious mind in a language that it understands, and it understands symbols. So at this point, I was using the symbol of me as a radiating star. I worked out, danced around the room, and had an enormous amount of buoyant energy. It's actually really funny. I remember this day dancing in my kitchen and feeling just like the music was carrying me. Anyway, going back under now, doing the pineal gland meditation. This meditation was a long one. I really liked it, and although it wasn't as intense as blessing the energy centers, I feel that's because I wasn't quite as focused. I kept coming back to real world things, concerned about the time, and I was a little afraid to let go of my body, which is actually still an issue for me. I'll feel as if my body is starting to dissolve and like I'm going somewhere else, and then I'm like, it's very frustrating. I don't know why I get scared, because I know what that means, and I know there's nothing scary going to happen. It's the goal, it's what I want, but I have a hard time completely letting go. Although it's getting easier and easier, and I'm letting go more and more. I did feel the energy surrounding me, and I felt like a strong hug from God. That was incredible. And now I feel like I am actually seeing through my forehead, and there's a gentle sensation there. As I write this now, I feel like I'm watching from inside myself. My handwriting is happening. So it would be like I have an eye right here, and I'm looking through that eye. And I still feel that. Not all the time, but it kind of comes and goes. My handwriting is happening. A while ago, while I was meditating on the third eye, I could see Will lighting up a cigarette and calling me. And he did call me. I'm going under again, this time just a gratitude meditation or something. It went well. I feel like present and unattached. Very nice. I did the changing beliefs and perceptions and the evening meditations. I'm feeling super relaxed and I'm ready for bed. I'm feeling like a truly upgraded version of myself. So that was it. That was December 7th, 2018. And I was doing a shit ton of meditating. It's pretty much what my whole life was about. My kids were in school. My fiance was in Chicago for a couple of weeks. And that's how I was spending pretty much my entire life when I wasn't doing the things that I need to do in order to maintain my actual real world life. It's more balanced now. I don't need all of that meditation time, not because I don't enjoy it, not because it's not beneficial, but my entire life has become more meditative and more mindful, so I don't need the actual time of sitting in meditation, because when I'm in my waking world, my mind is different. It's kind of like when you're learning to drive a car. When you're learning to drive a car, you need a lot of time behind the wheel at first to get used to the car and driving. But then once you have it, and you're not thinking while you're driving. It's kind of become that habitual where now, like if I sit for 5 minutes and close my eyes, I can get into that state like that state of meditative bliss, and just 5 minutes will just be maybe all I need for the morning sometimes. So if you're on this journey and you're experiencing some Kundalini-like symptoms or whatever you want to talk about, I would love to hear from you. Please comment below. Let's chat. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. I will see you on Monday. Bye.